Hello again. Today we'll finish up our introductory courses in game mechanics with Galva 104, Economic Growth. We'll cover all the things you need to know about increasing your income. Let's briefly stop by the Empire Overview. This page is primarily used for purchasing progression, but right beneath that you'll find a graph with all your empire-wide bonuses. Until you unlock the Arcanus and Sanctum, this will simply be the sum of your special resources and your university technologies. You can have bonuses for any resource, the gold income of your citizens, your actual population count, the commerce production of your provinces, and the construction time needed for your buildings. These will affect the economic production of all your provinces. Beyond the empire-wide bonuses, your land types and ratios will be the second factor that determines your production. If we go to the land tab of a province now, you'll see a similar bar graph down here. Each land type has certain values set for each of these 5 characteristics. If you're ever curious, you can view these values in the game wiki. This graph then is a combination of the 2 land types. The values are derived based on the ratio of the 2. The land type that composes a greater portion of the province will sensibly have a greater influence on the production rates of that province. If we go back to the Town Hall tab, we can see the end result of the previous 2 graphs in, you guessed it, a third graph. If you do the addition now though, you'll probably notice that your food, wood, and stone values do not match up. This is due to a third value, the randomly generated weather, which can also be viewed on this page. If you hover over it, you can see how it is currently affecting your production. Whatever number is displayed here will be either added or subtracted from your food, wood, and stone. Weather resets every time you click the collection button, so you'll find that your collections are not completely consistent. So now let's talk about expanding your provinces, as this is the only way to increase your income. The first step is to buy land. Back at your land tab, you can purchase land for 300 gold and 10 food apiece. You might think that it is best just to purchase land from the better land type of the 2, but there is a limit of a 70-to-30 ratio. In general, food-based provinces are best at a 70-to-30 ratio in favor of the better food producer. Stone and wood provinces are more fluid, as you can adjust the ratio in either direction depending on which you need more of. There is a limit to how large a province may be. This limit increases as you buy more progression. As you grow and become a powerful empire, you will always keep your provinces right at their limit. If you've reached 60 progression, it's recommended that you max out your land before continuing. Buying land alone, though, does nothing to increase your income. You must develop the land you explore with buildings. As such, continue on to the next tab, Structures. As you explore more land, you'll be able to develop more buildings on that land. You'll be able to build a large amount of houses, walls, and roads, while farms, mills, and mines will require more land to unlock. Houses will increase the amount of citizens you can support, which will increase your tax revenue. As a very important side effect, the limits on how many soldiers you can sustain is based on your citizen limit, so houses also increase your soldier caps. Farms, mills, and mines all add to how much food, wood, and stone, respectively, you collect. Note that this is not at all dependent on how many citizens you have. You could have 2 citizens and 50 farms, and you would still collect a whole lot of food. Of course, this is not recommended. Walls do not affect your income, but they do add to the defensive capabilities of your province. Roads increase your gold commerce. Always build every single structure you can. If you explore land without building structures, you are wasting your time. You may find that you do not have enough wood and stone to purchase them all, though. If that's the case, I advise the following order of purchases. First, buy mills and mines, as this will give you more stone and wood to buy the other buildings with. Next, buy farms, as they will make a big difference in your food income. Then buy housing, then roads, and finally spend whatever you might have left on walls. For our last step, we'll take a more in-depth look at the Finances page. This page can give you a lot of information to help manage your income. Note that there are 2 views at the bottom, the Normal View and the Province View. On the Normal View, you can view an itemized income and expense report. You'll note that your gold income is split between tax revenue and commerce. On the upkeep side, you'll see that there's a very vague maintenance expense for gold. It's nearly nothing though, so don't worry too much about it. Under food, your citizens sensibly eat a large amount of the food you produce. Your buildings also cost a set amount of upkeep each collection. You'll also note that there is a military upkeep in all areas. Keep this in mind as you train soldiers. By switching to the province view, you can see how each individual province of yours is contributing to the various categories. This can be good for further balancing. Finally, there are two tools for tracking your income. The first gives you a short history with your collection stats. You can track short-term goals here. For example, I'm trying to narrow my stone and wood gap, and you can see that I'm succeeding, only very slowly. The last tab shows a longer history as a graph. Here you can see where I got my second province, and here you can see where I exited peace mode. I'll stop before I start though. I love graphs and I'll freely admit it. I look at this page a lot, but I won't drag you along with me. Check back into the forums for your next guide.